The symbol that you are looking at is the symbol of Om in Sanskrit. This symbol means eternity, endlessness, and even emptiness. Now allow us to suppose for a moment that the true nature of your mind is emptiness, a vast eternal spaciousness. Now at first, when we think about this, we find it hard to believe. Perhaps we can explore this experience of emptiness in this meditation. Now you can continue to look at this symbol on the screen, or you can close your eyes and simply listen to the sound of this voice speaking to you. See that the body is in a comfortable position in which you are exerting the least amount of effort possible as you sit, so that the body can begin to become soft and relaxed, little by little, as we move through this meditation. Where you are in this moment, there are things that are happening around you, outside of you. There is the passage of sound, for example. So as you allow your awareness to be with the passage of the changing sounds, hear the sounds as they come and go. Now they can be soft sounds, like a breeze moving through the leaves of a tree, or the sound of water passing along in a stream. Or it could be the sound of a baby crying, or a motorcycle passing by, or an airplane flying overhead. Not all sounds have to be pleasant. Taking in whatever sounds that you are hearing and noticing the subtlety, even if you're in a place where you can hear the hum of electricity in the room in which you're sitting. Take that in as well. And just as you would listen to music playing, listen to the sounds as they come into the space of your awareness, and how they change, and how they interact with one another. And I'll be quiet for a while so that you can have this experience. as you've been listening, it becomes obvious that everything is changing from moment to moment, that nothing is held, nothing is permanent. Each sound passes, coming and going. Now, as you contemplate the past, your own personal past, the memories, these can be memories of yesterday, of 2 hours ago, memories from 10 years ago, or memories from your childhood. And notice how, as you observe this flow of memory, one memory arises, and maybe it stays for a while, and then it shifts into the memory of another time. Simply be with this for a few moments as an observer of your own memories. And as these memories pass through the space of the mind, it's inevitable that you are responding to these memories. There are emotional reactions. There are the reactions of thought, the temptation perhaps to analyze. Recognize how the actual memory and the response to the memory interact with one another, flow in and out of one another. Now allowing the awareness to shift into the future. The future is something that we can only imagine. But involved with this imagining is hope for things to be a particular way in the future, or the desire for something to happen in the future that may be fulfilling. So allow this imagining, this hoping, this desiring to flow through the spaciousness of the mind. And without trying to figure anything out or to achieve anything or to aspire to accomplish some intention, once again allowing this to be an awareness of this mystery of the future, moving through the space of the mind. And just as it was a few moments ago, when you were contemplating the past, as you contemplate the passage of thought that is focused on this ephemeral idea of the future, there are emotional, intellectual, thought responses to this idea of the future. And also noticing how it is interweaving with the past. So while we may focus on the imagining of the future, it's inevitable that little bits of the past will enter into this and intertwine. So the past and the future thoughts intertwine with one another. Now allowing this switch again to come to the present with what is happening now. What's happening now within the experience of the body? How does it feel? What parts of the body are feeling relaxed? What parts of the body are feeling tense? And how are particular parts of the body affected by this experience that you're experiencing now? Where are the thoughts moving? Recognize the thought that is in the mind right now. And then follow it. And notice how it changes and becomes a different thought. We hear sometimes that being present in the now is a priority of being. But as you recognize that now exists only for a very, very brief time until it flows into a different now. And then that different now also flows into a different now. And now is also intertwined with thoughts of the past and thoughts of the future. It might be that now the thoughts are focused on the past. And yet it is still now. And now the thoughts are focused on the future. And yet it is still now. Realizing that the sounds and the thoughts, whether they are focused on the past or the future or now, are always moving, always in a state of flux, and that it is practically impossible to grasp on to a particular thought and keep it. To keep it still in a place of holding. And all of this movement of thought and emotion, whether it's attending to the experience of the past or the future or the present, ultimately it is a thought or an emotion or both blending together into one experience. And just as the clouds change shape as they move through the sky, and just as water changes shape as it moves along the path of the river, the thoughts and the feelings change shape as they move through the spaciousness of the mind. And this is it. Realizing the spaciousness, the emptiness, of the mind, and that all of these things and thoughts and emotions are things, are moving through this spaciousness of mind. And when we refer to mind, it is not the contents of the mind that the mind is comprised of. The mind has no composition at all. It is empty space through which all of these things are moving. And realizing this is realizing that this spaciousness, this emptiness of mind is the nature of eternity. And this eternity is mind. This mind is eternity, endlessness. So when you find that you are trying to hold on to something, or trying to get rid of something, something that is disturbing you, that it is so deeply simple to return to this awareness of the true nature of mind as eternal, empty spaciousness. Allowing your awareness to be with this emptiness and observing all that is moving through this emptiness of what we would give the name of mind. And simply rest in this emptiness, in this spaciousness, and allowing it all to simply flow through. Each thought, each feeling, each memory, each anticipation, each experience of this happening now, flowing, changing through this empty space of peace. Gazing into this symbol of eternity before you on the screen, this Om. Om, the endlessness, the spaciousness of eternity. And in realizing that this is your true nature, there is tremendous peace, endless peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. endless peace, peace, peace.